listeners, welcome to Dungeon Reference, an actual play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition podcast featuring librarians of the Ocean County Library playing as librarians of Candlekeep. My name is Cecilia and will be the Dungeon Master for this adventure. While Dungeons & Dragons has many complex rules, the goal for today's adventure is to have fun above all else, so some rules might be altered in order to make the game more enjoyable. Join our players on this adventure inside the walls of Candlekeep and beyond. It is a cool, crisp morning here in the walls of Candlekeep. You have been employed on these grounds for several years, getting to know the ins and outs of the library, as well as coming to grips with the fact that adventures exist within the pages and outside the pages of many of these tomes. As a group who frequently are thrust together on shifts and many outings outside the library, you have gained skills, knowledge, and a reputation for uncovering various mysteries within the library's walls. Before we begin, please tell us a little bit about all of your characters.
Right. My character's name is Falarin Hogcollar. He is a Lightfoot halfling cleric. He was once a soldier and saw some serious combat that has left him suffering from mental damage he experienced. He lost a close friend in battle, survived the battle, and became a cleric, and swore that going forward he would only fight when he had to and focus on healing and caring for his friends and comrades wherever he went in life. And I guess he's now found some employment in Candlekeep Library and is enjoying the quiet and solitude that he gets from working in the library.
I'm playing as Brodicus, half-orc barbarian. He's folk hero among his people, wherever they are. He doesn't know. They're travelers. He's a traveler. Sometimes you travel. It's a thing. He's traveled many places, met many people. He's in search of the best vibes. Hasn't found them yet. One point or another, he ended up in Candlekeep. He's not much for the scholars, but hey, books are heavy. Sometimes you need a guy who's tall and strong. And sometimes people try and steal from the library, in which case it's very useful to have someone who can stop them. Somehow.
I am Poppy. Poppy is an elf and a fighter who has been kind of nomadic for most of her life. She doesn't have much in the way of family or friends since she's always on the move. And she has a lot of, probably I would say, anger issues going on. So she's always ready to get into some sort of scuffle.
And I'm playing Alora Elrond. She is a half-elf monk. I'll keep it kind of short and sweet. She likes reading a lot and she loves mysteries. She's very into self-improving herself. Her life's work is just a series of tomes related to a specific field of lore. Oh, and she's easily distracted by the promise of information.
So today you are on a routine reading of the historical tome section of the library. You have a pretty hefty waiting list. So Bruticus is probably lifting all those very, very heavy tomes. And you are all approached by a very flustered looking tiefling you all know as Irony. Irony is one of the youngest employees here. They are only 15 years old. Their dark red skin seems especially bright, perhaps from running. And their black hair is unusually messy today. So they approach you and they're waving their arms. Wait! They are very, very out of breath. You gotta stop. Okay, give me a minute. And they're kind of leaning against one of the carts. It looks like this stack of books is about to tumble over. They're not very aware of their surroundings at this moment. Okay, listen, there's this book, and I know what you're going to say. There's a lot of books, but this one is super, super important, like really, really important. You guys know I've been researching Silvery Moon, right? So you guys know Irony pretty well. If anybody wants to do a history check to see what they are talking about, you are free to do so at this time.
Sure.
This is going to be bad. That's a hot 2.
I rolled a 14.
I rolled a 13.
Oh
no.
I rolled a 2. I know nothing.
So
Me
Poppy
and
and
Poppy,
Bruticus
same
are
wavelength.
very concerned about these books about to be falling over. A couple might even like slip and like land on your foot.
Oh, then
No
Poppy's
damage,
going
but-
right over and scooping them up and asking him to please be more careful.
But the other two are aware that Silvery Moon is known as the Gem of the North in Faerun, is one of the few cities in the middle of the forest-run wilderness of the North. Nobody is quite sure on the history of its founding, but there are many legends and rumors in the libraries, mostly oral storytelling from the region about what exactly founded Silvery Moon. So that's what you two know, and the other two are very focused on not letting these books fall. So Irony says, well, this book I'm looking for happens to be on your reading list, and it also happens to be called Lore of LaRue, which happens to be one of the most famous legends about Silvery Moon. You have to let me look at it before you get rid of it. Or on second thought, don't get rid of it at all. Just give it to me. So what do you guys do?
I don't think that we're not allowed to do that. I'm not sure. We're gonna toss it anyway. I don't see a problem.
You toss it into my hands.
See?
And they hold out their like very small 15-year-old hands.
Poppy's not so sure. Poppy is willing to give this book to this new character if she actually determines that they're going to read the book. She wants to look it over first. If it's in super good condition and if it looks like it could get checked out again, she might decide to keep it even though it's on the reading list. So she wants to look at the book first.
Do we know where the book is?
You can
I'm
do an investigation check.
Okay. I have a cantrip for guidance, which will add a D4 to anybody's ability
Nice.
check. Does anybody want to search for the book? And I'll happily lend them. I have to concentrate. I guess I could do it to myself, but
So it looks
my investigation is a 0. So
Oh,
or I
mine
have
has-
0.
Alora's is a +4.
Mine is a -1.
Who's using
I'm a barbarian.
I think Laura's got this in the
So,
bag.
yeah, I can investigate.
Okay. So do you want to add a D4 to your roll?
Well.
Okay. Never mind. Only 22.
Not needed.
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
gonna say, never mind.
That would do it.
That would do it.
So you're looking and you know a little bit about Silvery Moon from that history check you did. You know that the crest of Silvery Moon is a silver crescent moon with horns pointing to the right and a silver 8-pointed star enclosed within a crescent. So you're clocking that. You're looking through the shelves on that. And you see this very vibrant, very thick tome at one of the top of the shelves. And it happens to have the words Silvery Moon in gold encrusted on the spine of the book. And the leather is very bright and very purple. And you have one of those ladders that you can get up to it, but you've noticed like a couple rings on this ladder maybe not as stable. The shelves are pretty stable. The ladders have been a little creaky.
Got it. Okay, I'm just
as
gonna
it
climb straight up the shelf then.
Okay.
Who needs
So-
ladders when you can climb shelves?
Laura
Careful,
kinda, like,
friend.
points it out,
Careful.
and so I'll
Goodbye.
have you
I would
A
hate to see you get
dexterity check.
injured.
Never skip arm
Poppy
day.
just rolls her
leg
eyes
day.
at the
It's fun.
shenanigans.
yeah, whoever's climbing to get the book, roll a dexterity check.
Would you like some help? I can provide you with some guidance.
Straight dexterity, or are you looking for acrobatics?
Whichever one you want to do.
If it's straight dexterity, then that'll be this.
Can I walk over and touch you on the shoulder and be like, look, I'm
I already rolled again. It's a
All right.
17.
17. Never mind.
You gotta be very upfront with the guidance.
You're pretty good at balancing your weight on this. You've done this a bunch of times before. So you grab that book, you haul down, and you plop it on the table.
I got it.
Good
It
job.
looks cursed.
I was worried for you that
If
ladder was
anybody wants to
rickety.
do an Arcana check, you can do that as well.
Hmm. I have -1, so no.
Maybe a Laura.
I have a -1, so I'm still gonna try.
Are we?
Wait, our Laura has +7.
Yeah, I can do it. I was just waiting.
Yeah,
Well,
I have a +7 to athletics too. Like,
also with guidance, you can roll that d4 before or after you make the ability check. If you stumble in what you're trying to do, I can walk up and lend a hand and cast
All right.
guidance on you, and you get an extra d4.
Let's see how it goes.
you can make it after you make the ability check.
That's what it says.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Oh,
27.
I don't need the guidance.
Oh no.
She got a nat 20. and a-
Jeez. holy cow.
Hey,
This book is super enchanted.
Oh, I'm not so sure about this.
I will also say, everybody knows this, but it has on the cover a gold border that has flowers and leaves around it, and in the center is a swirled looking golden unicorn head, kind of the silhouette of a unicorn's head that is raised up. And it looks in pretty good condition, Poppy. You're not really sure why no one's ever picked this up.
it's cursed.
I think Poppy's gonna vote for keeping it in the library.
Yeah, I think Alora's gonna agree with that.
Yeah, we're not weeding this book. We've decided that even though it came up on the weeding list, we're gonna try and give it another chance and put it on a display or something. See if someone will try and take it out.
And Irony goes to you, can I just look at it? I'm a patron. I can look at things too. I could check books out.
Oh, sure. If you've got a library card, you can check it out. Or if you want to read it here, you can certainly read it right at this table. It just can't leave the branch until you check it out.
Okay. They go to open up the book. And I'll say, like, Poppy, you're kind of clocking Irony just to make sure that they're not doing anything.
Oh, definitely. I'm trying to make sure that this guy isn't going to try and just steal the book.
As Irony opens the book, you see for a split second blank pages. And then as Irony's eyes start to go across the book, the words start to appear. And they say, our story starts during the time leading to the winter solstice on the final night of Uktar in the year 374 DR. A nearly full moon rises behind wispy clouds as the star-speckled sky darkens against a fading horizon. It seems silent and still here in the heart of the forest. But to anyone who knows the forest well, that silence can be misleading. And right at the bottom of the page, it says, when you are ready to proceed, turn the page. So immediately Irony starts to turn the page. And as they do so, you, Poppy, are hit with this blinding white light. And anyone within 10 feet of this blinding light feels entrapped and feels yourself as if being pulled or pushed forward. And you feel like you're falling.
I try to grab onto the table to get my purchase and get myself stable.
You try to will your mind to grab onto something and you feel like you are nothing. You don't have hands, you don't have anything. You are
and
just
I scream.
You don't even hear yourself screaming.
Oh gosh.
What is anybody else feeling or doing?
I am going to try and either tackle this tiefling or close this book. One of the two.
Were you within the 10 feet?
Almost certainly.
Okay.
Like,
you feel the same thing. Like you go to push your body forward and you just are surrounded in that light and just feel nothing, almost like you're falling.
these are not the vibes.
These are not the vibes.
All right. I'm not sure where I was standing. Can I be outside the 10 feet? Can I have been next to Brodicus? Because I had helped him climb off the ladder. Where was the book being read? Did they find a table? Were we all standing around?
It was kind of by a table by the ladder.
Okay. So I guess if I'd been next to Brodicus, I guess I'd probably within that 10-foot radius as well. I think I was definitely curious about the book and was peeking over her shoulder to try and see what was going on.
So you all just
I don't
feel like you're falling and falling. And then all of a sudden you hit something solid and you smell the freshly cut grass and kind of have dew across your face as if you just face planted into like a field. As you look up, you see that you are on the fringe of a meadow that borders a forest. Tall trees of several varieties stretch before you as far as the eye can see. Behind you is a range of formidable mountain peaks. As the remnant of the setting sun dips below the horizon, a rising full moon illuminates the darkening sky. So as you guys all look around, you notice one of your coworkers who's usually with you as well. You were very focused on this book situation and didn't realize that she was among you. And feel free to introduce yourself at this moment.
Navara Nahilo. The common is Night Breeze, and I am a wood elf druid. I'm a, what is it? It's a criminal. I chose criminal spy. I'm neutral. And technically, my hair is black, skin is copperish, eyes green. I'm about 115 years old and a female.
So you guys are all suddenly in this meadow instead of in the library walls. What do you?
Figured out why the book hadn't been checked out. Everyone who tried to check out the book got sucked in the book. That's where we are. We're in the book. It was cursed.
Is the book here with us, or are we just in the meadow all on our own?
You are in the meadow with everything that was on you.
Okay.
The book is nowhere to be found.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have
We read
to
that book.
agree. We are definitely in the book.
Don't like this.
No, not fun. It's not the vibe.
I mean, this meadow seems kind of nice. I like going on a random adventure. I was a little bored this morning, so this brightens up the day.
Laura's like, yeah, this should be interesting.
I love spontaneous adventuring just as much as the next guy. But being inside a book, that's not the vibe.
Scary.
I prefer to be outside of books.
It's still at home. It's still outside. It's a meadow. I mean, I like forests. It's still good.
So as you collect your surroundings and begin to look around, you see coming out of the tree line 3 bipedal creatures that combine to look the features of humanoid and goat. I would say, Alora, you know these are 3 satyrs coming at you. They're not coming at you, they're just stumbling and swaying. And they start speaking to you guys in a language that only Alora knows as Sylvan.
Okay.
Oh my God, thank God you guys are like here. We've been like wandering around this forest trying to find a way out for like ever. I'm Traga, this is Artilio and Funa. We were out for a bit of revelry and these wild-eyed ravens just randomly starting attacking us. It was honestly really rude. And they kind of all start nodding at each other like, yeah, that was really messed up. We're like totally not in a fit state to fight. And if those ravens attack us again, we're gonna get messed up. Could you like escort us home, please?
Where is home?
So we live at the Palavarth Plateau, which is around here, and they're kind of like looking, and they're like looking at the sky and the stars north of here somewhere. It's like that way. And they kind
Where?
of like point in like a random direction.
Do we want to let on that we don't know where we are or how we got here?
I think only one of us currently can understand them, so they need to do some interpolation.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, I assumed, especially since Valoran answered, that Alora I was going to say Alora translated anyway and introduced ourselves to them. But I mean, I don't know, Alora's kind of thinking, should we ask them how they got here and see if they're in the same situation?
Oh, we were like partying over somewhere over there. I don't even remember where it was, but you know, our home is pretty nice with partying, but sometimes you just got to get out and let your hair down, you know?
Laura's like, oh, totally. And then she like turns to everyone else. She's like, do we want to tell them?
Ask them about a book. Be vague.
Yeah, let's not tell them that we think we're inside a book because that could freak them out a little. They already seem like they're not too sure on their surroundings. But let them know that we also ended up in a place where we're not quite sure where we are. and see if they want to work together, because it seems like they have some sort of idea of directions. Possibly they're pointing at things.
Well, Laura's like, well, I hope that's true. And then she's going to relay that information to our new friends.
So you guys just are like chilling out in this meadow. It's pretty peaceful out here. Yeah, we could totally work together to figure out where to go. Like great minds, should put their minds together, right? When the other one says.
Laura's like, I don't see why not. Let me just confer with my companions real quick. And she's gonna be like, guys, what do you think? Should we work with them? They seem harmless so far.
I mean, we're stuck somewhere. Might as well get something done.
Still be wary.
They seem nice enough. I think we should work with them, at least until they prove otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I concur.
So
I
Laura's
will-
Keeping my eye on them.
sounds good. And then she's gonna tell them that we're gonna agree to work with them.
Okay. And as you guys were conversing, you see that they were conversing and trying to figure out what direction. And two of them are female, and one, Artilio, is the male one. He's like, it's definitely in that direction. Don't you remember that like shrub over there? And so that he seems like the most competent of them. So they start leading you in a direction you're sure Artilio kind of figures. And they're making friendly chatter with you, kind of gossipy. Because as you're walking, you hear several cracks of thunder. And as you're going, Funa is like, oh my gosh, that has been so annoying. Like the thunder going off, it's really killing the vibes of this whole place and like partying. And it's been happening for like over a 10-day. It's so annoying. Traga goes, what's really annoying? That. And she points up, and a crackle of several red bolts of lightning are like caught in the distance. It's like clockwork. Thunder, then lightning, weird red lightning. It's just been so bizarre. Have you guys been seeing this?
See it now.
Laura's like, wait, how long has this been going on like clockwork?
It's been going on for 10-day, which is like about a week.
And how often does this happen? Are there any breaks?
I don't know. It usually happens at night because Artilio, like, tell them what you saw, and he's really focused on trying to find the path. He's like, oh, yeah, I was seeing these absolute weird guys strolling through the forest, and they got animal pelts all along their back, and not hunting. It's just random animals that they've been killing. And that doesn't happen around here. And the other two are nodding like, yeah, that doesn't happen.
It's fine. If push comes to shove, we can fight them. At least I can fight them, and you can run.
I'll keep everyone safe. That's my goal here. I don't want to lose any friends again.
That, very fair. Very honorable of you.
Anything else weird about the place besides the thunder and the red lightning?
That's been the weirdest thing that's been going on. Wait, were you seeing those guys killing the animals around the same time? And Artilio's like, yeah, I think it happened around thunder when I saw the first one. So like they got to be connected, right?
Would you be able to ask them? They know where the people have been killing the animals and stuff.
Laura will ask them that question.
Just randomly wandering through the forest. But you know who would know? And they all kind of say the name in unison. Dolly would know. He knows everything that's going on. Like, he's the Parvath Plateau gossip. He's part of this community, the Dewlight, which is a bunch of pixies and sprites near our home. And he just knows everything.
Laura's like, okay, so if we can find your home, then he's gonna be near there?
Yeah, he like hangs out a lot over there. That's his place. They like rarely ever leave.
Okay, well,
Which
that's
is weird that they know all the information. He must have like spies. And they're all creeped out by the fact that this guy Dolly might have spies.
I need you to ask them for Brodicus. Did the people who had the pelts look like they were made of lightning?
Good question. And she's gonna ask them if the people look like they're made out of lightning.
I mean, they were weird looking, but they weren't made out of lightning, right, Artilio? From the fact what you were telling me, he's like, yeah, they had a lot of pelts and stuff on them, and they look like really, really angry dudes, like warriors, paint on them and stuff. They looked really mad all the time.
I bet I could reason with them.
Alora, would you be able to ask them if they look like it's ritualistic when they're killing the animals?
Laura asked if it looked ritualistic or.
You know, it kind of, maybe in a way. They kind of, in a weird way, like it looked ritualistic. I don't know. They weren't killing them in a way that was cool for the environment, you know? I don't know how to explain it. It just looked really weird. And they were all going in the same direction too, now that I think about it. And by this point, you get a pretty good clearing, and it looks like you're approaching, and you see the three of them run up ahead of you and be like, this is the place. Make yourselves at home because you're our guests. And they kind of just run ahead of you. And before you stands a maple tree of impossibly large size in the center of an open area nearly 100 feet in diameter. Shafts of light cut through the leafy canopy overhead and reflect off thin streams of water that trickle along and between the tree's gnarled, thick roots. As you approach the trunk of the tree, the three satyrs are happy to be home and run straight for like anywhere they could see to hang out. Suddenly, the tree seems to come awake as you approach, and it gives off a guttural noise and then begins to speak. Pardon my rudeness for being asleep. It's been a long time since I've seen travelers in these parts, and guys just came out of nowhere. Do you want to introduce the tree, as a tree might try to do, tries to look to see where the satyrs have gone, and he just sighs very heavily and very disappointed. I'm grateful that you brought them back. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last that they've come back with random strangers. Usually they're nice, but they're happy to be home, and sometimes they forget their manners. You can all understand. The tree is speaking common.
What's up? Question.
What's up, my man? I don't have hands to high five you, but I would if I could.
That's unfortunate. Now,
And the
question.
branch kind of comes down.
I high five the branch. You said there were other people in the past. Did they mention anything about getting sucked into a book?
Oh, that's a first for me, man. That's a
I'll say.
first. The two that had the high rolls on Silvery Moon do another history check.
An
Okay.
8 for me.
All right, history. Now, can I cast guidance on myself?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna,
Before.
I mean, guys, just touch and concentration, so yeah.
yeah,
You
so,
shouldn't be able to.
so with guidance, I get a 10 total.
That was just enough. You know a little bit about Silvery Moon and Fey Run and the whole landscape. Something's not right, double negative, but it's not in the current time period you recognize. Like if you visited Silvery Moon recently, this landscape and this layout and these trees, they're not in the right place of the present day Silvery Moon.
That book said something about it being a specific year before we got sucked into it.
Can
You're
I
not
ask the
wrong.
tree if it knows? I don't know how calendars work in this world, but if it knows
What
what
is
year.
time, man? Time's wild. These times are wild. There's red lightning coming down from the sky and thunder crackling.
Look on the upside. The people with the pelts aren't made of lightning. So you can fight them with swords.
Yes, the people of the pelts are tainting the eternal spring. Man, that sucks.
The what?
Yeah.
The pool of
what?
eternal spring?
What's that? That sounds like a
It's-
vibe.
Do I have any information about that since I have a little bit of knowledge of this land?
Not with the 10.
Okay. All right. And I've never heard of this. This pool.
Poppy's curious if that guy who wanted the book got pulled in, so she wants to
Ooh.
ask if anyone else has come
What?
through recently.
That guy.
Yeah, Irony has just been following you along,
Okay.
very quiet
Oh, he's with us.
And-
Okay.
and scared.
Oh, goodness.
Poppy,
Irony, this is your fault. What's going on?
And they start crying.
Okay.
Poppy's not going to have that. Look, you wanted this book. You insisted on opening this book. You said that this was very important to you. Then we get
It
to
was.
the book. Tell us what you know. Don't waste time with the crying.
Can I try and
I don't know
intimidate?
anything.
Can I try and intimidate them into telling us what they know?
Sure, you can try.
Okay, look. So, here's what's happening. We're stuck somewhere. We will eventually get out. Now, if you want to be with us when that happens, you better start telling us what you know. Or we're going to leave you with this big tree guy. I don't know if this tree needs sustenance. This tree might eat you. So, do you want to get home or perhaps be eaten by a tree?
I was researching about this place. There's
Can I-
no information.
Can I roll intimidation? Like,
Sure,
is that
yeah.
Yes. In case this works out terribly. It shouldn't. It did. I got a 6.
My character really doesn't deal well with conflict and is like, look, we need to work together here. I know we didn't plan to end up in this situation. Irony doesn't know where we are. We don't know where we are. And fighting amongst ourselves, I think, is going to make this worse. And I've lost enough friends. I've watched these things roll out. I've watched parties fall apart from infighting. I don't want to see that happen again. You all care too much about all of you.
Where's
And then
that?
Irony does say, well, the book said that it was winter solstice. Is it winter solstice, tree man? The tree nods as if the tree could nod. The trunk kind of moves slightly forward. And Irony looks up and is like, the book said there was a full moon and there's a full moon. And usually when books are written, the author will write about something important that happened. So maybe something really important happened whenever that 374 DR, was that the year?
And Poppy she was keeping a really close eye on this guy and was kind of like peering over his shoulder at the time. So can she remember the year specifically?
It was 374 DR.
It was, okay.
There's some satyrs around if you want to randomly grab a satyr and go, what year is it?
Yeah, I guess we'll.
What year is it?
If you do that, they do tell you the year is 374 DR and give you a weird look and push you away and run.
Better get going before we become history.
Like this.
Does anybody know anything about the history of this time? I mean, Irony has been researching, so did he find anything before this that led him to this book maybe that would have had other references?
Everything Irony knows and that cherishes has been told to you guys.
Oh, goodness.
Well,
Had a lot of help.
here's the way I say it. We got sent here because it was a book about something weird happening. Probably. There's weird stuff happening. We go to where that is, resolve, stop, or encourage it. Then, once it ends, we can go home. That's
So
the
we want to
thought.
walk toward the lightning, we're thinking.
Yes.
All right, Poppy said.
I'm not thrilled with this decision.
So the tree does feel that I've overheard Artilio saying and the lightning about the weird people in the woods, but they are all seem to be traveling to the pool of eternal springs, and that is sacred to this place. So that's getting messed up.
What is the Pool of Eternal Springs?
Basically, what keeps this place kind of mellow and chill. And if something's going on, there's something going on with that pool.
We gotta go there. Well, I have to go there at least. Seems to be a pool of vibes, and that's my whole deal.
Yeah, I think we should check out what's going on over by this spring.
Feanor has kind of clocks Night Breeze as a druid and kind of extends a branch with a vial towards Night Breeze. If you take this on, you're going to need this.
Take it from him and put it in my pack and thank him very much.
So
Ask him what it is.
You now have a potion of giant strength, specifically heal giant strength. He does relay to you that the Pool of Eternal Springs is a hallowed site, and it is associated with a lesser known deity called LaRue the Unicorn. And as you know, this book was called
Unicorn on the cover.
War of LaRue.
Well, there's only one place to go. Pool of Eternal Springs.
I'm nervous about, but we're here and we got to figure out how to get out of here. So yeah, I think that's where we need to head. I don't love the idea, but
That'll be fine. Question
Do we wanna
for the
go
magic
to the-
people. Can you make us immune to lightning?
oh yeah,
Okay.
I actually have protection from energy as a spell. It
Ooh.
lasts up to an hour, but it's only for one creature. And I can provide resistance to one damage type: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
Hey.
So I can help out one of us.
Well, that may become useful later then. For now.
So I'll have everyone do a group stealth check.
Okay, so I have disadvantage on stealth because, again, my previous history as a soldier, I'm wearing not full armor, but I have scale armor on, which gives me disadvantage, but I don't like to open myself up to injury. So
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Definitely give someone your thing. I don't remember the name of it.
I rolled a 1. I got a 19 and then a 1.
Yeesh.
Shows
Yeah,
me
you're a
everything.
halfling, right?
Yes,
So every time you roll a 1, you get to re-roll it.
I do. Thanks, dude. I forgot that.
For
I was like,
the-
I thought so. I played far too much of this game.
All right, so I get an extra roll, right? But I have to go with this one, right?
Laura
On
got
the
a 22.
Yeah, I'm back.
19.
Yeah, more than half pass, so you're good. So it takes a while to get there, but you're following the lightning and the thunder that's going on. And then as you begin, you are following the river course, enabled you to make good progress for a while by skirting the forest. Now as the sun dips below the horizon, the river makes a sharp turn to the north away from the trees. From the opposite direction comes a rumble of thunder and a flash of red lightning again, vivid against the darkening sky. As you approach, there are 6 huts circling the perimeter of a clearing. In the center of the open area is a large bonfire. Targets are scattered around made of bone and taxidermied animals, as well as dummies made of hide and fur complete the encampment. A group of vicious-looking and familiar, based on Artilio's description, warriors are gathered around the fire. They clink together their bone mugs and rip into raw animal flesh with their teeth. Fresh blood drips from their mouths and hands. It seems like a celebration of some sort. Occasionally, between the warriors' laughs, you can hear a cry, "To the beast, Lord!"
Do they look like humans, or are they a different kind of creature altogether?
They are a mixture of humanoid races.
I have motivational speech, and I
Okay.
feel like my character's trepidation of risk averseness, he might pull the party aside and say, like, before we go into this, and he's going to and sort of motivate everyone in the party. It lasts for an hour. Everyone gains 5. I'm going to do this because it lasts for an hour. But it takes a minute to cast. And so for an hour, everyone's going to get 5 temporary hit points, advantage on wisdom saving throws. And if anyone is hit by an attack, you have an advantage on your next attack roll.
Oh, dang.
But once you lose the temporary hit points, the spell ends for you. So for an hour, everyone's protected. It's a 3rd level spell, so it's going to take up one of my spell slots, but
And you guys all rolled pretty high, so you can do like a little whispered speech.
yeah.
And you do notice past the campsite appears to be some kind of pool that some cloaked figures seem to be sort of gathering around. Everyone's heard this speech. Do you guys approach the pool as it appears there's some kind of gathering happening over there?
Do we want to go in ready to fight, or do we want to go in ready for peace talks, guys?
I'm good with literally whatever.
I mean, I feel like they're not very peaceful from what we know, but
Because I could start trying to shoot people from all the way over here.
If anybody does want to do a brief religion check, you can do that based on the fact that they said to the Beast Lord.
I can do religion check, you said, right?
I'll try.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll
I have
try.
-1 to it, so it'll be bad.
Oh, I got an 8.
I got 14 somehow.
Nice.
What do I got? It's not going to be good. I got a 9.
So whoever got more than 10 knows this.
So
Me.
And this makes
Somehow.
sense
Right?
for you.
Do I have limits on that?
It does.
You know the
wait,
Beast Lord is known as Malar, the god of the hunt, which is an evil deity. Malar's goal is to assume dominance over any territory or forest. His agents usually brutally kill animals of all sorts in tribute to their god, usually sacrificing them. You also know that a lot of Malar's followers are berserkers, wargs, and werewolves.
So here's the deal. Malar, God, not really super vibing, if I'm being honest. Like, gotta hunt, all that, tries to take places over. I've had 1 or 2 encounters with people worshiping him in my day. Not fun. They are not fun people. They're like, oh, it's our God. We worship him. We murder people, animals indiscriminately. And I'm like, guys, why that? And they just never take comment that. Run out of a few places because of that. But no, yeah, Malar, that's what's happening. They're sacrificing. Oh, that's it. They're trying to sacrifice that deer of the spring. Not deer, it's unicorn. Oops, sorry, to their god. Probably to take this place over, corrupt the spring or something. I don't know.
I've got some I've got a longbow and a crossbow. Would either of those work against these followers that he has?
And
They're
how
just kind of guys like wargs,
I
werewolves.
mean, you can,
dudes.
if you want to start taking out the people at the camp, it seems like the lightning is getting more frequent and the thunder is getting more frequent, and particularly by the spring.
Yeah, I want
And
to try and kill people.
You,
sounds
you
good.
start to hear the murmuring of chanting over by the spring, and you see the berserkers are all like kind of going over there and yelling.
All right.
how many?
How far away are we?
Yeah, and how many are there in front of us that we can see?
At the campsite, there's 8 berserkers.
Yeah,
you see the
that's gonna help us
lightning.
right now.
You see the lightning hit one of the berserkers, and he falls dead.
Oh.
And the lightning start hitting the ground, and the berserkers, they're happy about it for some reason, beating their chests as they're going over to the pool of eternal springs, and they're chanting water into blood, earth into bone.
Poppy, you should probably try to take some of them out.
Right.
Wait a
So
second. Wait. But is it the blood that's tainting the water?
Oh,
If you want
Might
to,
want to kill
do you guys want to approach the spring to see what's going on?
we might
Yeah,
have to.
we can either try and start taking them out from afar, but risk the blood going into the water because it seems like they want to die,
That's true.
or we risk going over there. We could just pretend that we agree with them. We can
that's a
be our-
great idea. That's what
But if we agree with them and the lightning kills us,
Here's the plan,
Uh-oh.
if I may. May I?
Yes, go for it.
So, what we do, I Go in, very big, strong, rage, all that, great. Pretend to be like, yeah, it's Malar, god of not vibes, yada yada. Valorant, if you can, you give me that thing that gives me resistance to lightning. Then we see what's happening. Are they trying to sacrifice themselves to bloody this ring, or what's up? If they are, I start going in on them. That way, if I get struck by lightning, it might not kill me. That'd be fun. You guys get in from the distance and we take them out. Or if it's like different, then we try and reason with them maybe. I don't think that's likely, but it's worth a try. Objections, questions, comments, concerns.
Best plan I've heard.
Works for me.
Yeah, I can get behind this. I'm gonna give you what I can to protect you. So I come up to you and I touch you on the shoulder and I say, Brodicus, please be careful. These people are dangerous. But here, and I cast it on you and you're now resistant to lightning. We got your back, but please be careful.
Don't worry. It'll be fine. Probably. Yeah, and then I guess I'm gonna go over and like pretend to be one of them. I probably already look like one of them. I am a barbarian and a barbarian berserker at that.
So roll a deception check with advantage based on the fact that the way you described your character is very kind of.
Oh, that's a 19 and a 5. So 19 deception. I just go up and I'm like, yo, I'm here. Sorry I'm late. I got caught up. There were a few deer, had to kill them, sacrifice them to Malar. You know? Now, I'm a bit behind. Sorry. What's happening? Some dudes got struck by lightning. Is that a good thing?
As you're saying that, the two guys that you're talking to, one of them immediately gets struck by lightning. And just like, and they are like, ah, they like, shake you. It's great. It's great that this is happening. Right?
I assume I'm a bit behind. I got lost in the forest. Had to kill a family of deer, you know? Because, like, what are we going to do if Malar, if we don't get the sacrifices in, he might stop.
And
Feel like he's
the pool's
worshipped
not
by
going
us.
to be corrupted.
Exactly.
You got to fill it up with blood. Yeah. Yeah.
We are bloody in the pool. I thought that was it, but I was worried. I
Corruption.
was wrong. Good.
Well, like, come over here. Like, watch this. Watch this going on.
Right,
And
right.
like as you like look over and you're approaching the spring, you see that the pool that was once clear is now a deep, deep red. And as you look over, 3 bolts of lightning hit the pool, rippling it, and it stills for a moment. And the guy that you were talking to kind of looks over at you and was like, something's supposed to happen now. And kind of they're waiting. And you see a bunch of cultists are surrounding the pool, and you see 2 werewolves on either side of the pool as well, snarling. And then finally another bolt of red lightning strikes the pool. And as it's almost pulling away, you see the tip of a blackened horn coming out. And you see, as if on top of the water, a dark black, almost like a nightmare if you've ever seen one of those, like a black unicorn with bright red eyes. And from its horn, you see streaks of lightning flow down into a dark mane as this corrupted creature lifts his head and takes out like 7 cultists and just flings them across, and there's blood everywhere. And I will have all of you roll initiative right now.
Radical. I get advantage on initiative. I got a 22.
Yeah, I have no initiative.
A 7.
Oh, well, that means you might just go last.
So this is bad. I would be astonished if I'm not the first person going in this thing.
Okay, so Bruticus, this makes sense. You're there. You go first. This guy sees the cultists get flinged and kind of like, it's like, oh, that's not
So
supposed to happen.
the 3 of us are still sort of in the shadows, right? While we're watching
Yeah,
this
you're
happen.
all
Brodicus
kind of-
is
yeah.
how far what's his distance from
say
us?
He's 60 feet from you.
Okay. All right.
Wild. I then enter rage with my bonus action, and then it's just like, well, sorry, and I just start hitting the guy next to me. I'm gonna attack him with my great sword. So I'm gonna. Ooh, that's a 26 to hit.
That hits, I think.
That's 15 damage to this guy. Is he still up?
Yes, he is.
All right, then I'm going to try and hit him again. That's a 22 to hit.
That hits. Wow, he does not have great armor.
No. I have plus, I'm a barbarian. And then that's 12 damage.
No, he's still up.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm then going to yell, "You're gonna want to get that thing cleared or something. Do magic. Do magic about it." Just yell, gesturing to the unicorn. Because, like, one of you, namely the cleric, should have, like, cleansing magic of some kind. So I'm just like, do something about it, please. And then that's my turn. I didn't get any, wasn't actually, yeah, I hit both times, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's my turn.
All right. Alora is next now.
Okay. So I mean, Allura doesn't have magic. She can try to go for that monster creature thing, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know how close or how far he is.
So
That's definitely a bad idea.
based on what you're looking at right now, you see a lot of cultists are dead. The berserkers are freaked out, like this is not going as planned, and are looking to get out of there.
Okay.
And you see two werewolves kind of looking around, and
If I use a dart, can I get within 20 feet of them? My speed is 45.
I will say the werewolf is probably, you can get to one of the werewolves.
Okay, so I'm gonna get close enough and hope they don't see me right away, and I guess try to fire a dart at them. Oh, that's a 24 to hit.
That hits.
All right, 9 damage.
Very good. Okay, that hit.
Cool.
So
And
throw your
after
damage.
is 11.
Ooh. He.
Tracked my key. Okay.
So you start your flurry of blows, and the last hit knocks him right underneath his jaw, and you see like teeth kind of fly out.
Oh, but he's still up.
He's very unhappy, but he is still up.
Okay.
And he is so unhappy that it is his turn next.
Uh-oh. All right.
23 to hit. Does that hit Alora?
Sorry, we were muted. That hits.
6 damage.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to say because you knocked some of his teeth out, he's going to roll his bite attack with disadvantage.
Okay.
A 2
That
and
does not hit.
4.
Nope. Neither would have hit anyway.
So he's missing the canine, so it's rough for him. Up next is the other werewolf who has clocked that Bruticus has attacked a friendly. Okay, he's gonna make a dumb decision and attack Bruticus.
Oh my god.
So that is a dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits, unfortunately. However, I'm enraged, so.
It is a 6 piercing damage. Then he is going to swipe you with his claws. That is a 6.
6 to hit, does not hit.
It does not hit. Up next is the corrupted avatar of LaRue. First attack is going to be on the werewolf. That's a natural 1, so that is a no. Just tries to spear the werewolf with its horn, but then goes to back kick Bruticus with hooves. That is a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
31 points of necrotic damage.
Necrotic?
Yes.
Why is it necrotic?
Why is it always necrotic?
Why is it always necrotic?
Up next is Night Breeze.
Okay, I guess I'll shoot my crossbow at one of the werewolves.
Okay. There's the hurt werewolf that's fighting Alora, or Bruticus and the werewolf are a little bit further away.
I'll try for the one by Bruticus to try to help knock down the one that's attacking.
Okay.
I know it's only a 6.
Up next is Falarin.
All right. So I'm like 60 feet from Brodicus. Where's the unicorn?
Is right on top of
It's right
them.
on top of him. So
60
he's like
feet.
60 feet from me.
The same thing with the werewolf that he's fighting, and Alora is probably half that distance.
Okay. All right. So I'm just like screaming, like, I told you to be careful. And I'm going to run forward 25 feet and sort of kneel down on my one knee and cast. It is Guardian of Faith. So a large spectral guardian appears, and I can cast it up to 30 feet. So that's still going to put it at about 5 feet away from where you guys are. But a large spectral guardian appears and hovers for the duration is 8 hours. It's blazing white light appears. The guardian, you can't really tell what this guardian's, it's spectral, but you see a gleaming sword and a shield emblazoned with an image of a road approaching a setting or a rising sun. Can't really tell. So what this thing does, any creature hostile to me that moves to a space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed at a dex saving throw and takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. And it hangs out there until it does 60 damage.
That's a spicy spell.
Yeah.
Good spell, especially with this. If it's dealing necrotic, then it's probably some kind of necrotic creature, meaning radiant damage should be quite effective against it.
So now there's this massive spectral guardian hovering above the battlefield, and it's, again, I'm trying to protect everyone.
Oh, that's radical.
So that is my turn. Okay.
Poppy, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to first attack the werewolf that's going after Alora with my
Okay.
crossbow. It says its range is 80.
That doesn't look like a good roll though. Oh, 13.
13.
Believe it or not, that is enough to hit this werewolf.
Oh,
Thank goodness. Okay,
roll for
so
damage. 2, no,
so
4.
4 damage.
4 damage.
You just like pull its tail. Like it just like
I hit his tail.
the arrow hits its tail and it yelps a little bit.
Okay. All right, I'm going to attack the same werewolf with my longbow this time. All right, 25, so it's gonna hit him. Let's
Yeah.
see what the damage actually is. Okay.
A 10.
10.
So the one hits the tail, the
Yes.
other one hits and goes through his jaw, like
Ooh.
from the side, and just goes right out, and he yelps. And Alora, you see like his jaw drops and blood spills out of it, and his tongue is bloodied and punctured in some places. He's looking real rough. We're at the top, so Bruticus, you are up. You have a werewolf and an angry unicorn.
Yes, I do. How is the werewolf looking?
Your werewolf, he's in pretty good shape. He's been working out. He's got all his teeth. He's got all his claws. He's got
Right,
little
yeah,
blood
forgot.
from where you punched him on the jaw, like, or you clocked him. You also look around you, and all the berserkers have left. They're gone. All you see is dead cultists around you, the 2 werewolves and the unicorn.
I just been like, Jit, what are you doing? We had to kill them first, so then they won't power this thing, so we can get this thing down, because it is an assault to the god, obviously. Now, help me fight it. I'm just gonna try and lie to him, I guess. That's the plan. Just see if I can lie, and then start attacking a unicorn. Gonna attack the unicorn. That's a 10 to hit. I doubt it does.
Believe it or not, a 10 does not hit.
17 to hit.
A 17 does hit.
All right, and that's 15 damage.
You hit it right in the one of the joints of its front hooves, and it stumbles a little bit. So up next is Alora.
I'm gonna use my short sword on the werewolf that's looking rough. That's a
We're almost
14
done.
to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Damage is 10.
We dead.
Is he dead yet? Do I have to hit him again?
You punch him right in his collar,
Okay.
and he gets the wind knocked out of him. You hear something crack. He's barely up.
All right. I guess we'll go for him again with the short sword then for my second attack. Ooh, 14 hits.
Yes, it does.
And 11 damage.
So how do you wish to vanquish this werewolf?
Ooh, that's what I was thinking. If I already hit his collar, can I just go for the neck and chop his head off?
Yes.
He's already pretty beat up.
I did not want to assume that's what you wanted.
Too brutal? No.
You always want decapitation.
Yeah.
So you successfully chop this werewolf's head off. And he does not get to go anymore because he is dead.
Good.
So the werewolf by you, Bruticus, starts to flee. So you get an opportunity attack.
Heck yeah. I'm gonna try and hit him.
And I'm pretty sure it's also going to take some radiant damage from my guardian, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So 20 radiant damage.
It's got to do it. It's
And whatever Bruticus hits.
17 to hit. So
That
then
hits.
14 damage.
so
Go ahead.
it's got to do a dex saving throw and take 20 or 10. If it's, I guess, a failed saving throw and DC is 14.
He misses. He is running as fast as he can, but he's looking really rough, and there's a trail of blood behind him.
So it took 20 damage?
It took everything.
Okay. All right. So
It
then
took everything.
my guardian still has 40 damage left that I can do before it disappears. Cool.
As you guys are in the middle of this brutal battle with the werewolves and the unicorn just kind of rearing its head, you see across the sky another streak of lightning. This time, instead of red, it is white, and it is coming from the moon. It strikes the unicorn, and as it strikes it, it encompasses it in a radiant light, transforming it into a true living avatar of LaRue the unicorn with a silvery mane, shimmering hooves, and a spiraling horn. You see the necrotic, the red eyes turn silvery and then a sharp blue. And you see that it is no longer in an angry defensive mode, but instead the vibes are good here. She looks at all of you and gives a thankful nod, and then turns to the pool, sees the corruption that lies before her, the red and the dark blood, and bends to dip her horn down. And as she does so, the pool begins to form again a normal color that a pool would be, clear, crisp. And you feel that same feeling of falling, but instead you're falling backwards. And you hear in your ears the final words of this book. The avatar of LaRue galloped through the night, freed from the threat of Malar. As a way of showing her gratitude, ensuring that Malar and his minions would never dare to ravage the forest again, she continued to let the silvery spring flow, turning the place into a pool of eternal silver. These waters, forever protected by her grace, lie near the site of a city now called Silvery Moon, which was named as such in honor of this tale. And you have now returned back to Candlekeep, back to your home, back to your library.
Yay.
Radical.
Yay.
That's a
Wow,
discard.
survived. We did it.
And I'll have, for the last roll, I'll have everybody make a perception check.
Oh, 21.
Oh, and I get guidance on it too, because
20.
We're gonna do whoever rolls the highest notices this.
okay,
It was not me.
was
It
not
was
me.
almost me.
Was not me.
Actually.
Somehow.
Oh, 16.
So you hear the smallest tingle of a noise. As you look down, you see a very small ring begin to spin. This ring is black with blue gems surrounding it and smaller purple gems surrounding those. In the center is a large, hefty gem, but it's nothing you've ever seen before. Inside of it, you see swirling purple lights and stars. As you pocket it, I assume, you now have a ring of shooting stars, which has tumbled from this book.
Just hold it up and say, now that's the line.
Thank you for listening. Check out this 8th level adventure, The Lore of LaRue, and additional adventures in Candlekeep Mysteries, an anthology of 17 mystery-themed adventures originating in a magical library. Check out a copy today, free with your library card, and any other Dungeons & Dragons campaign guides or source books.